Hello everybody, welcome back or welcome to my channel. This is Divine Oasis, also known as Mariah. Thank you for sharing some time with me today to deliver a message from Spirit. It's my birthday! Hello to my fellow Cancers or just water signs in general. Yeah, I'm excited for this reading. I don't really have a plan. I feel like it's going to be a channel message for the Divine Feminine. I'm feeling that energy. I'm feeling just happy and excited to be here and do this reading today. Hopefully soon I will figure out a better kind of setup. I mean, I think this one's okay, but I want to have like it set up in front where like I can also be in it kind of. So we'll see how that works out. I got a new ring light, but they didn't send the phone connector with it. So when they send that part, we'll try some new kind of setups and whatnot. But yeah, I just want to connect to the Divine Feminine energy, the collective, see where we're at right now on this journey of existing. Also, here's some pretty seashells for you. We bless your eyes with some seashells. Look at this one. So cute, so cute, so cute. So adorable, so adorable. Alright. I thought I had something under my nail, but I think it's just, you don't know, but I have other fingernail polish that I didn't fully get off under this fingernail polish, so she's kind of showing through, but that's okay. So, I think we're just gonna start with some sound, calming sound, healing vibes before we begin, just to clear the space and kind of set our intention for this message that wants to come through. I ate some pizza. I did eat some pizza today, and my stomach is feeling a little bit funky because I was fasting for 4 days before. Not from food, all food, but just processed foods. So eating something like pizza, but it was homemade. I made the dough, you know. I had some fresh mozzarella. So yeah, but yeah, my stomach is feeling a little bit funky, but that's okay. So I want to start with, I want to see if I can keep this on the table and do it. I usually have to hold it in my hand, but maybe we'll be able to, yeah. I can't do it too loud because it's, what time is it? 4:17 a.m. But yeah, I just clear this space. Spirit, great spirit, call in my guides and angels and ancestors to be here, present with me now. Help me to be an open channel for the collective, an open channel from the divine to the collective, messages of their highest good, of all of our highest good. Because I think this message might also resonate with me as well. I feel like there's some uncertainty in the air for the Divine Feminines right now in this collective. But also there's like a feeling of like trust, but also certain thoughts and questions and wonderings are happening in the Divine Feminine's mind about the counterpart connection. What that really means. Like, is it just a catalyst energy, or is it something deeper, something bigger? And it feels like it's something deeper. It feels like a lot of the Divine Feminines are really seeing a lot of truth when it comes to counterpart connections. It seems that we are really tapping in spiritually. I feel like collective, you might have been someone who had like an awakening, a spiritual awakening or something when you were pretty young, but it's like you're now in this stage, like 4, 5, 6, 7 years, however long you've been in this journey, and you're kind of realizing that it's this ever unfolding energy, that you are constantly awakening, constantly evolving and shifting and growing and changing. And I think that meeting your counterpart, your masculine, kind of illuminated that more. And it's like, some people, if you're here, you might have experienced soul recognition at a young age, with a person or with people, and you may have thought that that person was like a twin flame or whatever, but it seems like they were very much a catalyst. And then when you met your true twin flame, your divine counterpart, it seems like everything that you thought, like everything that didn't add up in the past, with past connections, it didn't seem like it was aligned with the term twin flame or the divine counterpart kind of label. Maybe you're even foregoing or forsaking labels, like you're letting go of kind of this need to have this 100% solidified label on something. There's a certain surrender happening for the feminines right now. Yeah, literally. It's like you're kind of just like letting go and trusting in the path that, like, as it unfolds. Whereas maybe in the past you wanted to have control over everything or over the outcome. I think maybe in the past there was an energy of almost jumping into the labels, using them as a sort of crutch or a safety net, which is very interesting because usually the twin flame label, it's not something that feels like something that you should, like, that you would want to actually be in. If you think about real twin flame connections, like, yes, they're extraordinary because they help you meet yourself, but I think that initial feeling is like it's like passion, but then you start to meet yourself deeper, you start to see deeper truths about yourself, you start to find your own inner light, and sometimes that can be scary, but yeah, there's just warmth in my heart right now. I just think there's a lot of community to be found in this journey, and it's not just supposed to be romantic, and we can get lost in that kind of fantasy of the romance and wanting this specific story to come alive, when in reality it's like the story is supposed to bring you back to you. But there is so much passion in the twin flame journey. I think for me, I thought I knew what it was all about, and maybe I did to a certain extent, but meeting my true twin flame, I think it illuminated way more than I thought was possible. So I think there's kind of this understanding in the collective right now for the feminines, where we're kind of just like, oh wow, this is really happening. We're really in this. We're really evolving and transforming on a soul level. And it's quite beautiful, but it can also be overwhelming. But yeah. So, Spirit, what messages can you give the Divine Feminine Collective I'm just seeing things connected with love, like a rose quartz, or I'm thinking of like self-love and self-nurturing energy. I think that right now the divine feminine, excuse me, my nose is getting stuffy. I kind of cried whenever I watched that Sinners movie just a little bit ago. It was so beautiful, but also like tragic, but it was, I don't know, and I just loved the history that it kind of pulled from, and the truths that it touched on about music and about connection to your ancestors through music, and how you can kind of bring memories, past and future, spirits alive just by being in that flow state with music and that creation energy. So that might be significant. What messages do you have for the Divine Feminine Collective? It's like I almost don't even want to shuffle cards right now. I just kind of want to sit and feel this energy and see what is coming up. Because maybe I don't need the cards right now. Maybe we just need to feel into this energy and see what's really trying to come through. I think there's a ancestral aspect to the energy tonight. It feels like our ancestors are here kind of beckoning us to come back to our roots, to connect to the certain practices that our ancestors were involved in spiritually. Especially as divine feminines, it's like we are holding this torch, and there are ancestors of ours who were also divine feminines and masculines who were holding this torch of bringing spirit, anchoring it down, remembering oneness. And I feel like some of our ancestors, like connected to that movie, it's like music can really bring a remembrance. There's an energy to connect with music more, connect with a flow state more, and that looks different for everybody. Some people find the flow when they're playing the piano. Some people find the flow when they're working on a car, or it's just doing something that kind of puts you in that state where you're not focused on time. You're just kind of there, and you're just kind of letting creation move through you. And I think that's also a way to connect to your ancestors, especially with dance and music. Pardon. It just feels like the divine feminines, there's like this energy of like freedom, and in that vision of freedom that I'm seeing, it's like wearing this beautiful flowy dress and you're outside and the wind is kissing your skin and you're flowing and you're dancing and you're moving and you're kind of I want to say in a tantric state, a trance, where you're connected to your ancestors, connected to spirit at its purest, potent form. I think a lot of the Divine Feminine Collective are finding that in community, and also just by yourself, like you, whatever process that puts you in that flow state or that puts you in that tantric, transformational, energetic, awakening the chi state. I think we're being called to move toward that more. So the Ace of Pentacles, it's almost like there's like it's like I want to say there's a gift that Spirit wants to give you, but it seems like you're awakening to your own gift. the gift of your ancestors, the gift of like, this is roots. It's like you're going back to your roots. Maybe roots that you didn't even know were there, but you're becoming more aware of them through meditation or through, like I said, that flow state. You're finding a connection with ancestors or with spirit. Yeah, you're learning something and collaborating with your ancestors in a way that maybe you haven't before. Yeah, you're seeing that there are so many gifts that are handed down from your ancestors. There's so many things being awakened for the Divine Feminine Collective right now. Like this water flowing out. There's a lot of creation energy. There's a lot of, like I said, flow state. Connecting to ancestors. You're kind of climbing this ladder of truth. Building something. It's like you're co-creating with spirit. It's not just, you're realizing that in this flow state that you find, connecting with your ancestors, connecting with your spirit team, with spirit, whoever you connect to. I feel like it's ancestors. There's a strong ancestral energy coming through, like the gift of your ancestors, like the roots that you're going back to, connecting to, and it's like teaching you something new. You're collaborating on a conscious or unconscious level with your team, with your ancestors. And they're bringing forth many gifts that you have, and you're learning. It's like you're relearning, because I think when we grow up, a lot of times we're not we're always where we're supposed to be, right? The story we came to tell. But I think when we grow up, sometimes the people that raise us, they maybe have learned from the people before to be the way that they are, and it's like this cycle or whatever. And I think you, collective, are one of the first to really connect with your deep ancestral roots that goes beyond illusion or programming or distortion. And it's like they're gifting you for this, because it's like you're open to learning. You're not stuck in the cycle of fear anymore. And that's not to say that your ancestors weren't in a cycle of fear, because a lot of our ancestors were. But I think we're here being that torch, holding that torch at a time where we can hold that torch. We can try and bring balance and alignment. And spirit ancestors are offering a gift. They're offering sacred knowledge. What else can you tell the collective? Holy Spirit, what else can you tell the collective? Divine Feminine Collective. I think the women, and I don't want to put gender, but the feminine is rising. It's almost like I got this message earlier today. It was about how, like, the people in power are a dying breed. The ways, the systems that have been in place, it's a dying breed. It's no longer sustainable. It's crumbling before our eyes. And I think as we get in touch with our roots, our deep ancestral roots, especially on a feminine level, the matriarchy, that feminine energy that comes in, the wisdom, the holiness of it, the pureness, and also the chaos part of it, the creation part of it. The more we connect with that, it's like we, like I said, holding this torch, this beacon of light for the next generations. And it's interesting, we're bringing kind of the true old ancestral ways of healing and spiritual truths into this new world that is essentially being created while the old one is crumbling. it feels like the divine feminines are rising in their power more, and it's coming from a place of stability, but also connection and trust. Like you have this honor, not honor, this, what is that word? Armor. We have this armor around us from our ancestors, from our spirit team. And because we are open to learning and growing with those deep truths, it's like we're being offered all of these different offerings from spirit, from our ancestors, that are going to bring us more in alignment. And it's going to help us teach as well. What else can you tell the Divine Feminine Collective? I just keep hearing like beacon of hope. I think that collective, you've become, Divine Feminines, we've become this beacon of hope. And there's like a strength. I knew justice was wanting to come out. Yeah, there's like a balance, a divine balancing of the scales, where there was this lack mentality, where like in this old crumbling system that just didn't, it wasn't balanced. It's not for the betterment and the safety and the health of humanity. It was for greed and selfishness, and it just wasn't, it's not it. It wasn't divinely guided. It's not a divinely guided path. So I think with the feminines rising right now and bringing this sacred ancestral knowledge back into the physical and kind of teaching not only themselves, but also other people, it's bringing this balance. It's bringing this alignment that it's also like this deep inner trust and honoring of ancestors, of self, of spirit, and of this journey. I think there's a lot of times we can focus, especially on counterpart, twin flame, soulmate journeys, whatever you want to call it. We can focus very much on the lack of like our counterpart, or we can focus on how things aren't looking how we want romantically. But I think it's important to look at the deep lessons, the deep soul lessons and soul gifts that you gain on this journey. It is quite extraordinary. And I think we should look at the parts of the connection where it shows transformation. It shows deep inner truth coming into union with your sacred wisdom, your sacred femininity, becoming the alchemist in our own lives. I think that's important too. It's not just about romance, guys. Yes, that passion is like crazy and you just want to be with your person, but it's like, whoa, this connection is really, it's getting me in deeper touch with myself, with my own ancestors, with my own ancestral knowledge, with my own gifts, with finding my soul's passion, with bringing balance and safety and contentment to my own life. And I think it is, like I said, it's extraordinary. There's so many things to learn on this journey, so many beautiful uncoverings and offerings and gifts that you get from this journey. And I think romance is just like, I think that's the end, like the end thing. Like, how I've been bringing up fairy tales a lot, but the end is when you have the happily ever after. In the middle is where you have this great deep soul development, soul transformation, soul growth, evolution. It's important to look at all the different parts of the journey. Like there's also a part where the princesses connect deeply to spirit. Like you have like fairy godmothers or beings that come to assist, like animals or nature spirits, whatever the fairy tale looks like. But it's like, that is so beautiful to be able to experience on this journey, and the happily ever after is just at the end of the story. That's another ending, new beginning type of vibe. I think it's important to know you're not trapped in this journey. This journey is meant to free you and your person. What else can you tell the collective? The Divine Feminine Collective. There's dog hair fuzzes from this flying. If you see him, let it be. What can you tell the Divine Feminine Collective, Spirit? Just keep going. I think that a lot of you guys, a lot of Divine Feminines have a journey, a path apart from the romantic aspect of the twin flame journey, where it's like you have a mission. You know, either you know or you have an idea, or you remember a certain passion that beams your heart. You have a mission here. We all have a mission here, Divine Feminines. And it's important to move toward that mission, because I think when you're embodying your soul's purpose, like, that's when you're most magnetic to your masculine. When you're really honoring your soul's truth, and you're actually going toward the things that you know deep in your heart you're meant to go towards, apart from this person, you look so magnetic because you're honoring your authenticity. You're honoring your passions. You're honoring your body, your mind, whatever it looks like. And it's important to do that, regardless if your person is in your life or not in your life. Send them love, send them comfort and joy, and, you know, whatever you have to do, but realize that it's not just about that. And at the end of the day, it's not your job to save them. This journey is supposed to show you that you can save yourself. You have a mission. Yeah, there's some ideas, like you have like light bulbs, and it's like you're almost like letting it guide you, but you might not be focusing on some of the, like, this just reminded me of kind of being in like the fantasy, like when you read a book you're in this whole other realm. So when you're in a counterpart connection, some people say it's like the 5D, like you can go to this other realm, other space with your person, where you can just be with them, be happy with them, but don't neglect your ideas that you get. Don't neglect the creative endeavors that you may get just because you're constantly thinking about this person. Don't neglect these ideas that you get from spirit, because, or from your ancestors, because they're really gifts. And you're meant to be looking at all these different things and going through all these different passions and learning all these different new ways of being and collaborating with people, collaborating with spirit. You're meant to be letting these ideas create something and surrendering to the connection, trusting that everything's happening in divine alignment. You lack nothing. Yeah, it's like, oh girl, this is what you're meant to be focusing on. Do you see how passionate and how happy and free she's? Like, oh yeah, that's my inner light, I'm letting it shine to the world, I'm happy, I'm excited. Look at this, her sun, the sun is beaming on her. She's like free. This is what you're meant to be doing right now. Do you see a masculine in there? I'm just saying, I'm not saying like your masculine won't be there, but I'm saying right now, Divine Feminine, we are meant to be honing in on our craft, following our heart's passion, letting the light guide our way, being free, listening to music, connecting with our ancestors, like connecting to spirit more deeply. You may have a cat. I want a black cat. One day I will have one. You're meant to be nurturing your light. Look how happy she is. And she don't got no man by her being that happy. That's because she is connected to her heart's passion, and she's moving toward it unapologetically, confidently, passionately. And she's got all these candles. This reminds me of ancestors. It reminds me of like ancestral work. You're tuning into the gifts, deep rooted gifts from your ancestors. You're being called to if you haven't. But yeah, don't neglect the ideas that you have. You're learning so much. Don't get overwhelmed by all of the different facets that you could go down, that you could go through. Just look into your heart. Look into that seed of light that exists in you. It's not even a seed anymore, baby. It's a whole lotus flower, okay? You're meant to be growing and trusting. Beautiful divine feminines. You're meant to be connecting deeply with your emotions and trusting in spirit. Let me put this here. So, I don't know why I want to read the Queen of Cups. Oh, I just opened to the Lovers. So it's like, and the first word is magnetism. Like I said, the more that you are focusing on your inner light, nurturing your gifts, working toward things that you know you want to work towards, and like bringing those ideas into fruition, it's like bringing balance to your life. It makes you more magnetized to your masculine. It brings you this, like, it's almost like your heart is open and you're just so free within yourself, and you're confident, and you're just moving with this light and passion. Your masculine can't help but be, ooh, what are you doing? Are you like living life? Are you having fun? Trusting your intuition. Girl. You're radiant, connected to spirit, balanced in your emotions. Just don't forget yourself through this journey. It's so easy to focus on our masculine. Oh my gosh, because they're just so freaking cute. It's so easy to focus on your masculine and where they're at, and hoping that they're okay. But you can send someone love and prayers and whatnot without having to constantly chase them or check up on them physically. Especially if you know that you're meant to be working on self, balancing self, bringing things into alignment, bringing this energy into your life. It's already there. You're already beaming. Remember I said I saw that, like, a flowy dress, and she was outside and she was just free. I mean, it's not a dress, but it's just freedom. That's what the divine feminines are supposed to be focusing on, is their freedom. Letting their soul roar and beam, and really focusing on those ideas and those things that you know you're meant to be doing right now. Maybe you're scared, or you have a fear of being seen, or whatever. I know I have a fear, but we still have to do this, right? Right? We still have to. Because it's a mission. We have a mission here, guys. Divine feminines. We're not just here to lollygag. We got things we got to do. What's that Beyonce song? A psychic told me we got shit to do. What is that? We ain't got time like we used to, but we still shine like we used to, but we still grind like we used to. And I need more you and me and me and you. It's Virgo's groove. Yeah, there's like it's like life is like a blip, right? We get to beam source consciousness into this human body, this physical, which is not even really physical, this is just atoms vibrating so quickly together. It's all energy, it's all frequency. We get to bring this frequency, anchor it down onto earth. What type of beautiful embodiments of creation are you gonna bring to this earth? Are you meant to dance? Are you meant to sing? Are you meant to write? Are you meant to bake or just create something, write poetry, create something? And it goes down to deep ancestral roots. So it's something that's deeply ingrained in you, and it's in your blood. It's in your DNA, your energetic imprint. And you know what that is, Divine Feminine, because you felt the way that it lights up your soul. And if you haven't felt it, you will. You've had ideas, maybe you haven't acted on them yet, so you don't know if it's really something that you want to do. But Spirit's like, look, you have all these different things, you have all these different roads, routes you could go down. You need to just go, move, be free. Because life is so short. My birthday's today, I'm 25. What a beautiful, beautiful blessing it is to be alive. We don't know when our time is, so it's so important to move toward the things that really ignite our souls, ignite our passion. Because ultimately, when you're following that light, when you're following that passion, that freedom, and you're confident in it, balance is going to be in your life regardless. Because when you're following your soul's path, you will be successful. But when you keep focusing on fantasies or going into the 5D all the time, which I am guilty of this as well. Okay? But you're not, I might have just tooted. Girl, it's okay. You're not, it's confirmation. Like some people burp. No, it was that pizza, I'm telling you. It did something to me after fasting for 4 days. But yeah, when you don't go after those ideas, it's almost like you're neglecting yourself. You're not taking these gifts from Spirit. But whenever you actually move toward these things and you trust, you can't help but be I'm sorry. I don't know why I looked at this. I thought he was holding his nose. Like, ooh, you tooted, ooh. Okay, bear with me. I'm lactose intolerant, okay? But yeah, I think that's a funny little way to end the video. But yeah, just let your gifts beam. Trust in the path that unfolds before you. You have a lot of different ways, routes you could go down. You have a lot of different things you could like go to and experience and say like, oh, is this putting me in the flow state? Like if you don't know what your soul's passion is, the thing that you love the most, the thing that you feel like lights you up inside, even if you don't do it in front of people, if you don't know what that is, you are being offered this opportunity to explore, find it, learn and collaborate with others, because it goes down to the roots. I think you're finding something that's deeply ancestral. It's deeply connected to Spirit, to truth, and it makes you feel, or will make you feel like this. Wow. Okay. I think that is where I'm gonna end it. I hope that this reading helps you, Divine Feminine. I just feel like you probably already know this because you're intuitive like that. Because you gotta like that. It ain't even gotta be like that. Okay? So, thank you for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this reading, Divine Feminines. Keep beaming your light. Keep shining like the sun that you are. There might be some sort of completion of something coming. Ooh, new beginning. An ending brings a new beginning. Okay, so yeah, I hope that this reading was good. I hope that this helps you in some way. Thank you for being here, and I will see you again soon. And as always, peace and blessings manifesting. Bye.